Hello and welcome to the Retail Week. This week it's our personalisation special, which coincides with our annual Personalisation magazine. Joining me today we have Jay Sarwar, Monetate's Vice President of Global Services, and Gemma Goldfingal, our Features Editor. Thanks for joining us, guys. That's all right. So to kick off, let's have a chat about sort of what personalisation in retail looks like at the moment. Can I ask you, Jay, do you think that personalisation is a big priority for all retailers? Because my impression is that there's a bit of a division in thought, should we say, between the retailers who are saying, oh, this is going to be the revolution, this is going to change everything, and the retailers who go, that's cute, guys, but we're not going to bother with anything. What are you saying?
There's definitely a division of thought. So we recently, Retail Week and Monetate, co-published some data that indicates the market is split literally 50-50. So half the market cares about it to varying degrees, but at the very least cares about it. Mm-hmm. The other half of the market either doesn't think it's a priority today or isn't quite sure. So my hypothesis, and again, I'd have to take a closer look at the data, but my hypothesis, because I work with the half that cares about it deeply, and I tend to work with very large, high-growth enterprise retail clients. Mm-hmm. And so my hypothesis is it's a function of scale. And so the larger retailers do see it as a priority, and the smaller retailers see it as something that may not quite be stage appropriate for them just yet, but something that they can do in the future at the moment they have bigger fish to fry.
And can I ask, you and I have conversations with people out in the market all the time, Gemma. Does that sort of reflect what you're seeing?
Absolutely. I actually don't use the large and small analogy. I think the people that I see leading personalisation are those with the widest choice. So department stores, big aggregator sites like ASOS, Shop Direct, Amazon, of course, and it's those with the widest breadth of offer that probably need to personalise more to make it relevant to, you could spend hours, if not days, on ASOS's site, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, and often do.
Yeah, whereas those of course, and those kind of single brand retailers possibly don't think there's quite as much of a need.
Incentive for them.
Would you agree, Jay?
It depends. So I think for product recommendations, as that pertains to personalization, the boxes where you may also like, absolutely. If you've got a wide breadth of product offerings, I do think all those types of firms do prioritize personalization. For those that are more on the brandy, experiential end of the spectrum, it's not necessarily the product offerings, but it's the front end experience that they'd like to personalize for the user. So that's another way to bifurcate the market.
Yeah. And can I ask, I feel like there is such a sense of, it's all very future gazy, which I think is potentially why certain people operating in the market don't have that much patience or time for personalisation at this point. It's like, in 5 years this will be huge. Yeah. In the X amount of time, this is going to be able to talk to this, and it's going to be able to recommend a product to me. And what is possible now that feels exciting and new to the retailers that you're talking to? What does the cutting edge look like today?
Yeah, so two things. One is automated decisioning. So the technology is here now that will make decisions for retailers in real time. So traditionally, when we deploy any type of personalization, you put your alternatives in the system, you wait for results. A manager, a human being, or an analyst will analyze the results and then make a decision as to what to deploy and what not to deploy. The technology now will actually make the decisions on behalf of the retailers in real time. Okay. So that automated decisioning is one, and then two, I think the market has made it a lot easier, I know we at Monetate have, of ingesting our clients' first-party context and allowing clients to actually leverage their own first-party data to segment their audiences, drive these automated decisions, et cetera, et cetera.
And so in terms of the types of retailers that you are seeing who are going, that sounds exciting, I'm going to actually put my money behind that and invest in making that happen. What percentage of retailers that you're working with are kind of going for that most cutting edge version, and who's hanging back if any?
Yeah, so right now I would say it's the frontier-ish end of the market that is adopting this and is willing to take the risk to adopt something this new. So it's 20% of our clientele in the US, a bit less here in the European region.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's a bit more, it's nascent in the US, it's a bit more nascent here in Europe. But it is the frontier end of the market that is willing to lean forward take the risk and really put the resources behind adopting this new technology, which requires a mentality shift. I'm happy to talk a little bit more about, but it does require a mentality shift, and in some cases a little bit of an operational shift on the part of the retailers.
And why do you think there's a bit of the difference between the UK and the US? Why are we lagging behind here?
I don't think the UK is lagging in terms of being forward leaning and risk taking. I simply think it's a function of scale.
Right.
So I think just by virtue of the fact that the U.S. economy is a bit bigger than the U.K. economy, the retail businesses that we tend to work with are a little larger, so they have the resources to put behind the adoption of this technology.
And do you think, I think I can guess your answer, but let's see. Do you think retailers, as they currently stand, are getting the most out of personalisation and the potentials that technology offers?
So I think they're getting wins.
Yeah.
So we help retailers, I won't go into specifics, but we've helped retailers increase conversion by 10%. We've helped them increase mobile engagement by over a third. I can name you plenty of examples of those quick wins. Mm-hmm. But getting the most out of personalization is, I don't think, something that any single retailer would tell you or me that they feel they're doing. There's always the opportunity to do more. Getting the most out of personalization for me means building the ultimate in individual resonance. So really tailoring the experience for every single individual in a way that will resonate with them, right? And make them further engage with the brand. I think the way to get there is to adopt some of the technologies and the governance shift required to adopt those technologies that we spoke about. Mm-hmm. But the short answer to your question is not quite yet. Okay.
There we go. Great. Okay. Thank you so much for your time and your thoughts, guys. That was really interesting. That's it for us this week. We have put up a bunch of features on personalisation, looking at what best in class looks like within retail and outside of it as well. So if you want to read any of those articles, they are all on our website now. And also check out the personalisation feature. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Thank you very much for joining us, guys, and we will see you again next week.